Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare wheat penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today we're going to talk about a coin that might be hiding in your collection, or perhaps even tucked away in a drawer somewhere, the 1953 United States 1-cent coin. You may think it's just another penny, but trust me, this one could be worth much more than its face value. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal just how much this small piece of American history could fetch on the open market. Let's take a quick trip back in time to the year 1953. The United States was in the midst of the post-World War II boom, with the economy steadily growing and the country experiencing a sense of renewal. It was also a year of change, as the country was starting to enter a new era, both socially and economically. And amid all this change, the U.S. Mint issued a series of 1-cent coins, one of which would go on to be a key piece for collectors. The 1953 penny was part of the famous Lincoln cent series, which had been in circulation since 1909. On the obverse of the coin, we see the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, facing to the right. The reverse side of the coin features a simple yet elegant design of two wheat stalks surrounding the words E pluribus unum and 1 cent. These wheat pennies, as they are commonly called, were minted from 1909 to 1958 and are known for their historical significance and unique aesthetic. But here's where it gets interesting: despite being produced in large numbers, not all 1953 pennies are created equal. Some were minted with certain flaws, while others were produced in special conditions, making them rare and highly sought after by collectors. Now, what makes the 1953 1-cent coin stand out? It's all about the condition and rarity. You see, the vast majority of these pennies were heavily circulated, meaning they show signs of wear and tear. However, a small number of them were carefully stored or never saw the light of day, and these pristine examples are now incredibly valuable. And even more valuable are those rare 1953 pennies that feature minting errors, tiny imperfections that make them unique and highly collectible. Some of these rare 1953 pennies feature doubling of the design or misstrikes that happened during the minting process. These errors can make a seemingly ordinary coin something extraordinary. And with every new discovery of a misstruck or rare version of the coin, its value skyrockets, as collectors jump at the opportunity to own such a treasure. So, how much can you expect to get for a 1953 penny if you're lucky enough to find one in exceptional condition or with a unique minting error? Hold on to your hats, because the value might just blow you away. In fact, a 1953 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition can fetch up to an astonishing $67,000. Yes, you heard that right, $67,000. It's incredible to think that something so small and seemingly insignificant could be worth such a staggering amount. So, if you have any old pennies from 1953 lying around, take a moment to inspect them closely. You might just be holding onto a rare gem that could change your life. Top 2, we're going to talk about a hidden treasure that could be sitting right under your nose. You've probably seen it countless times, the 1950 United States 1-cent coin, but did you know that this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a small fortune? That's right, this old penny might be worth far more than you think. Stick with me, and I'll reveal just how much this coin could fetch if you've got the right one. Let's take a step back to 1950. The United States had just come out of World War II and was experiencing a period of economic prosperity and growth. The U.S. Mint, always in the business of keeping up with the country's needs, continued to produce the Lincoln cent, a coin that has become one of the most iconic in American history. In 1950, the penny continued to feature the famous design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat stalks on the reverse, making it a classic piece of American numismatic history. But here's the catch: the 1950 penny, like many coins, comes with some unique characteristics that can make it a real treasure for collectors. While the majority of these coins were minted and circulated as part of everyday life, some of them were produced under special circumstances, and that's where the value comes in. The first thing you'll want to consider when assessing the value of a 1950 penny is its condition. As with any coin, the better the condition, the higher the potential value. A coin that's been carefully stored and hasn't seen much circulation is far rarer than one that's been used in daily transactions. Most 1950 pennies you'll come across will show signs of wear and tear, but if you happen to find one that looks almost brand new, you're in for a treat. Now, let's talk about something even more exciting: minting errors. These are the real jackpot when it comes to coin collecting. Sometimes, coins are produced with slight imperfections during the minting process. These errors can be small, but they can significantly impact a coin's value. For the 1950 penny, there are certain varieties that are far rarer and much more valuable than the average coin. These include examples of double dies, where the design appears twice on the coin, or misstrikes where the penny may have been struck incorrectly, giving it a unique and one-of-a-kind look. Collectors love these error coins because they represent something truly special, an imperfection that makes the coin stand out from the rest. But what kind of value can you expect if you have one of these rare gems in your possession? Well, if you happen to have a 1950 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition or one with a valuable minting error, you could be looking at a huge payout. Believe it or not, the value of such a coin can reach up to $73,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $73,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something so small could hold so much value, but that's the magic of rare coins. So, if you have any 1950 pennies in your collection, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. The right condition or error could turn that humble penny into a life-changing sum of money. That I hope you enjoyed learning about the 1950 United States 1-cent coin today. If you've got some old pennies lying around, it might be time to dig them out and start inspecting them closely. Who knows? You could be sitting on a hidden treasure that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 3, we've got a hidden treasure to uncover: the 1949 United States 1-cent coin. This little piece of history, often passed over in everyday transactions, could actually be worth far more than its face value. If you've got one of these tucked away in your collection, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. Stick with me to find out just how much this penny could be worth. Let's go back to the year 1949. The United States was recovering from World War II and entering a period of prosperity. The 1940s were a time of major economic growth and social change. The U.S. Mint, as always, was hard at work producing coins for circulation, and one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Lincoln cent, was still in circulation. At this time, the Lincoln cent featured the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that would become one of the most enduring symbols of American coinage. But here's the twist: while the 1949 1-cent coin may seem like just another typical penny, it holds a special place in the hearts of coin collectors. That's because, over time, certain 1949 pennies have become much rarer and more valuable than others. Whether due to their condition or unique characteristics, these pennies are now considered highly sought-after collectors' items. One of the biggest factors that influences the value of a 1949 penny is its condition. Most of the coins from this year were heavily circulated, which means they've likely seen better days. However, a coin that has been carefully stored or hasn't been used much can be worth far more. A 1949 penny that's in mint or near mint condition can be a prized find for collectors, as high-quality coins are far rarer than the average, worn-out version. But it's not just about the condition. There's something even more exciting when it comes to the 1949 penny. Some of these coins have unique minting errors that make them especially valuable. Minting errors can happen during the production process, creating a coin that's different from the standard issue. This could include things like a double die, where the design appears twice on the coin, or a misstrike where the coin is imprinted incorrectly. These error coins are a collector's dream because they are unique, and collectors are always eager to find something that stands out from the rest. Now, you might be wondering just how much you could get for a 1949 penny if it happens to be in top condition or has a rare minting error. Well, here's the jaw-dropping reveal: if you have a 1949 penny in perfect, uncirculated condition, or one with an error that makes it stand out, you could be looking at a value of up to $67,000, that's right, $67,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that a coin that once spent time in the pockets of everyday Americans could now be worth so much. The rare combination of mint condition and unique features can skyrocket its value, making it a true hidden gem for any serious coin collector. So, if you've got any old pennies lying around, especially from the year 1949, take a closer look. You might just have a rare and valuable piece of history on your hands. Top 4, I've got a real treat for you. It's a coin that might be sitting in your pocket change right now, and you wouldn't even know it, the 1980 United States 1-cent coin. Now, we all know pennies are often overlooked and dismissed as not worth much, but trust me, this 1980 penny could be hiding a secret that's worth thousands of dollars. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'm going to reveal just how much this small coin could actually be worth. Let's rewind to 1980. It was a pivotal time in U.S. history, with the country facing challenges like high inflation, rising oil prices, and a changing political landscape. The U.S. Mint was busy producing coins for circulation, and the 1981 cent coin was no different. Featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the traditional reverse design with the Lincoln Memorial, this penny was part of the classic series that has been beloved by collectors for years. But what makes the 1980 penny stand out from the rest? Well, it's not just any ordinary penny. While most of these coins were minted and circulated widely, there are certain versions of the 1980 penny that have a rarity factor, either due to their condition or because they possess unique characteristics. That's what makes these coins so interesting and valuable in the world of coin collecting. The first thing you need to know is that the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Most 1980 pennies you'll find in circulation are heavily worn and damaged, but a few lucky ones were kept in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that are in mint condition are incredibly rare, and when one surfaces, collectors are ready to pounce. These uncirculated pennies are more valuable because they've survived the decades without any visible wear or tarnish, making them a prized possession for anyone serious about collecting. But that's not all. There are also rare 1980 pennies that have minting errors, which make them even more valuable. Minting errors can range from minor defects, like the wrong metal mix, to more noticeable mistakes, like misstrikes or double dies. These errors are something coin collectors absolutely love, because they make a coin unique and stand out from the rest of the pack. A small error on a 1980 penny could turn it into something worth far more than its face value. So, just how much can you expect to get for a 1980 penny that's in top condition or has one of those rare minting errors? Here's the big reveal: if you have an uncirculated 1980 penny, or one with a unique error, it could be worth up to $53,000. Yes, you heard me right, $53,000. A single penny, worth so much more than you'd expect, all because it's in pristine condition or has a rare characteristic. It's truly incredible what a difference a little bit of history and a few rare features can make in the world of coin collecting. So, next time you're sorting through your spare change or digging through old coins you have stored away, keep an eye out for the 1981 cent coin. You just might have a small fortune sitting there waiting for you to discover it. Top 5, we've got something truly exciting to talk about. It's a coin that you may not think twice about, but trust me, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. I'm talking about the 1981 United States 1-cent coin. This seemingly simple penny might just be hiding a valuable secret, and in this video, we're going to explore why it could be worth a small fortune. Stick around because by the end, I'll reveal exactly how much a 1981 penny could be worth. Let's set the stage with a little history. The year is 1981, and the US is in the midst of a transformative time. The country was dealing with high inflation, political shifts, and economic uncertainty. Amidst all this, the US Mint continued to produce the Lincoln cent, a coin that's become one of the most recognizable pieces of currency in the world. The 1981 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the classic reverse design showing the Lincoln Memorial. A coin that's been part of American life for decades, the 1981 penny might seem ordinary, but when you start looking a little closer, you'll see why it's anything but. The 1981 penny, like many coins, was minted in large numbers and circulated widely. Most of the pennies from this year show the usual signs of wear and age. However, there are certain examples of the 1981 1-cent coin that are much more valuable than your typical circulated penny. What makes these coins special? It all comes down to two main factors: condition and rarity. First, let's talk about condition. The majority of 1981 pennies you'll find in your pocket change are worn down, often showing scratches, discoloration, and signs of being used in daily transactions. But if you happen to have a 1981 penny that has been carefully preserved and is in mint or near mint condition, you've got a rare find on your hands. Uncirculated coins, meaning coins that have never been in circulation or handled too much, are much more valuable. These pristine examples of the 1981 penny are sought after by collectors because they have survived in almost perfect condition, making them much rarer and more desirable. But that's not all. There's something even more exciting when it comes to the 1981 penny: minting errors. Yes, you heard me right. During the minting process, sometimes things don't go quite as planned, and you end up with a coin that's got a unique feature or flaw. These errors can make the coin even more valuable. For example, a 1981 penny could have a double die, where the image appears twice, or a misstrike, where the coin didn't quite line up properly when it was minted. These minting errors can cause the value of the coin to soar because collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are one-of-a-kind. So, how much can a 1981 penny really be worth? If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare gems, whether it's in pristine condition or has one of those valuable minting errors, it could fetch a pretty impressive price. Are you ready for the big reveal? A 1981 penny, in perfect condition or with an error, could be worth as much as $57,000, that's right, $57,000 for a single penny. It's amazing to think that a coin you might pass by every day could have such a significant value. So, if you've got any 1981 pennies lying around, it's definitely worth taking a second look. You never know, you could be holding onto something worth a small fortune. Top 6, I've got a coin for you that might just be hiding in plain sight, and it's more valuable than you might think. We're talking about the 1977 United States 1-cent coin. This humble penny, which most people dismiss as pocket change, could actually be worth thousands of dollars. Intrigued? Stick around because by the end of this video, I'll reveal just how much a 1977 penny could be worth in today's market. Let's take a trip back to 1977. The United States was in the midst of the post-Vietnam War era, with a new wave of political and economic change sweeping across the country. The U.S. Mint continued its production of the iconic Lincoln cent, which had been circulating for decades. The 1977 penny features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic reverse design with the Lincoln Memorial. To most people, this would seem like just another penny. But when you look deeper into the world of coin collecting, things start to get a little more interesting. The 1977 penny was minted in large quantities, just like every other year, and most of these coins have been circulated widely. That means they've been in and out of wallets, purses, and coin jars, picking up wear and tear along the way. But here's the key: some 1977 pennies were preserved in pristine condition, and these coins are highly sought after by collectors. If you've got one of these rare, uncirculated pennies, you could be sitting on a real treasure. But wait, there's more. One of the things that makes the 1977 penny so special is the possibility of minting errors. You see, during the production of coins, things don't always go according to plan. Sometimes, a mistake is made that leads to a coin being struck differently from the standard issue. For example, a 1977 penny could have a double die error, where the design appears twice on the coin. Or it could have a misstrike, where the coin didn't align properly when it was minted. These errors are extremely rare and highly valuable to collectors, as they make a coin unique and one of a kind. Now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1977 penny could be worth if it's in perfect condition or has one of these valuable minting errors. Well, here's the exciting part: if you happen to have a 1977 penny in top condition, or one with an error, it could be worth as much as $59,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $59,000 for a single penny. It's amazing to think that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a 1977 penny could have such a big value. So, if you've got any old pennies from this year lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. You could be holding onto a rare and valuable coin without even realizing it. Top 7. We're talking about a coin that's often overlooked by many but could be hiding a big surprise in your pocket change, the 1979 United States 1-cent coin. Yes, you heard that right, a penny from 1979 could be worth far more than its face value. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this little coin could be worth today. Let's take a step back and look at the year 1979. It was a time of change in the US, with the country dealing with high inflation and political transitions. The 1970s marked the end of the post-Vietnam era, and Americans were adjusting to a new economic reality. The US Mint was busy producing coins for circulation, and one of those coins was the 1-cent piece featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln. This design, which has been in use since 1909, still remains a symbol of American history. But when we focus on the 1979 penny, something interesting begins to happen. The 1979 penny might look like just another run-of-the-mill Lincoln cent, but there's more to it than meets the eye. While most of these coins were produced in huge numbers and circulated widely, there are some important factors that make the 1979 penny special. The value of this penny depends largely on two key things: condition and rarity. First, let's talk about condition. Most of the 1979 pennies you'll find are heavily worn from years of circulation. These coins have been through the ringer, passing through countless hands and showing signs of use. But, here's where things get interesting: if you happen to have a 1979 penny that has been kept in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, then you could have a very valuable coin on your hands. Uncirculated coins are rare and highly sought after because they have survived the decades without any significant wear or damage. These pristine pennies are harder to come by, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. But wait, there's more. There are also rare 1979 pennies that have minting errors. That's right, mistakes happen during the minting process, and sometimes a coin comes out looking a little different than intended. This could mean a double die, where the design appears twice on the coin, or a misstruck coin that wasn't properly aligned when it was minted. These types of errors make the coin unique and can increase its value dramatically. Coin collectors love minting errors because they are one of a kind, and if you happen to find one of these rare 1979 pennies with an error, it could be worth far more than you ever thought. Now, I know you're probably wondering just how much a 1979 penny could be worth if it's in top condition or has one of these rare minting errors. Well, here's the exciting part: you could be looking at a value of up to $55,000, yes, that's right, $55,000 for a single 1979 penny. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? A coin that most people wouldn't give a second thought to could be worth so much money, simply because of its condition or a rare minting mistake. So, if you've got any old pennies lying around, especially from 1979, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You might just have a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 8. I have a real treat for you. Have you ever wondered if your loose change could be worth a lot more than you think? Well, in today's video, we're talking about a coin that could surprise you: the 1982 United States 1-cent coin. This might look like just another penny, but it's a coin with a fascinating history and potentially a huge value. By the end of this video, you'll be shocked at how much a 1982 penny could be worth. Let's rewind to 1982. It was a year of change and transition in the United States. The economy was going through some shifts, and inflation was starting to creep up. For those of you who remember, it was also the year that the US Mint made a major change in the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made primarily from copper, but starting that year, they began using a mixture of copper and zinc. Why is this important? Well, this shift led to the creation of two types of pennies in 1982, those made primarily of copper and those made mostly of zinc. And it's this subtle difference that makes the 1982 penny so interesting and valuable today. Now, most of the 1982 pennies you come across will be from the zinc-copper mix, which is the more common variety. However, there are certain 1982 pennies that are worth much more, especially the copper ones. In 1982, the U.S. Mint continued to produce pennies from the traditional copper alloy until mid-year. After that, they switched to the new zinc-based composition. So, the pennies made in the first half of 1982 are made of copper, while those minted later are primarily zinc. Here's where things get exciting. A 1982 copper penny, especially one in excellent condition, is a rare find today. Why? Because the copper pennies were only minted for a short period before the mint switched to the new zinc composition. So, if you happen to have a 1982 penny made of copper and it's in mint or near mint condition, it's worth significantly more than its face value, but that's not all. There's another factor that could increase the value of your 1982 penny. Minting errors. Just like with other coins, mistakes happen during the minting process, and these errors can make a coin incredibly valuable. If you have a 1982 penny with a unique minting error, such as a doubled die or a misaligned strike, it could be worth a lot more. Coin collectors go crazy for these kinds of rare errors because they make the coin one-of-a-kind. So, how much could a 1982 penny actually be worth? Well, if you have one of those rare copper 1982 pennies in mint condition, or even better, one with a minting error, it could be worth as much as $48,000, that's right, $48,000 for a single penny. It's crazy to think that something so small and ordinary could have such a big value. So, before you toss that penny into a jar or pocket it without a second thought, take a closer look. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands. Top 9, we have a very special topic that could turn your pocket change into a small fortune. You probably have a few pennies lying around, but did you know that some of them could be worth thousands of dollars? In this video, we're talking about the 1975 United States 1-cent coin. This penny might seem like just another regular coin, but you'd be amazed at how much it could be worth. Stay tuned until the end, where I'll reveal just how much a 1975 penny could fetch in today's market. Let's take a little journey back to 1975. The US was in a time of economic challenges, inflation was high, and the country was recovering from the Watergate scandal. Despite the national struggles, the U.S. Mint continued producing its regular coins, including the Lincoln cent, which had been in circulation for decades. The 1975 penny features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic reverse design with the Lincoln Memorial. It was a coin that most Americans saw as just a small, everyday piece of currency. But today, things are a little different, and this penny has become a lot more interesting to collectors. While the 1975 penny was minted in huge numbers and circulated widely, there are certain factors that make this coin stand out in the world of coin collecting. The first thing you need to know is that the value of a 1975 penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. Most of the 1975 pennies you'll come across have been in circulation for decades and show the typical wear and tear from daily use. However, if you're lucky enough to find a 1975 penny that's in uncirculated or near mint condition, you've got something that could be very valuable. Uncirculated coins are always in high demand because they have been preserved without any signs of wear or damage. These coins are much rarer than their worn counterparts, which is why they can command higher prices on the market. So, if you have a 1975 penny that looks like it was just minted yesterday, it could be worth far more than a few cents, but that's not all. Another reason the 1975 penny is special is because of potential minting errors. Minting errors can make a coin incredibly valuable, and collectors love them. If your 1975 penny has a double die, a misstruck image, or some other rare minting flaw, it could be worth a lot more than the average coin. These errors make a coin one of a kind, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. So, what can you expect to get for a 1975 penny in perfect condition or one with a minting error? Well, if you have one of these rare finds, you could be looking at a price as high as $58,000, that's right, $58,000 for a single 1975 penny. It's incredible to think that something as small and ordinary as a penny could have such an extraordinary value. So, before you write off that old penny, take a closer look. It could be worth much more than you ever imagined. Top 10 and last rare penny. We're diving into a penny from 1971 that could be worth much more than you think. That's right, I'm talking about the 1971 United States 1-cent coin. While this coin might seem like just another penny, you may be surprised to learn that it could hold a much greater value in today's market. So, stick around until the end, because I'm about to share just how much this little penny could be worth. Let's take a trip back to 1971. The United States was going through some major changes, both socially and economically. It was a year marked by the end of the Vietnam War, a growing awareness of environmental issues, and rising inflation. But what might seem like an ordinary year for the country actually became significant for the U.S. Mint, as they were busy minting coins for circulation, including the 1-cent coin. The 1971 penny was part of a series of regular production coins, featuring the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. For most people, this penny was just another piece of pocket change, but today, it has become a valuable collectible. While the 1971 penny was produced in large numbers, the value of this coin can vary depending on a couple of key factors: condition and rarity. The most common version of the 1971 penny, like many other circulating coins, has been used for decades, showing signs of wear and tear. If you have one of these well-worn pennies, it's unlikely to be worth more than its face value. However, what makes this penny so intriguing is that some 1971 pennies were kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, and these are the ones that collectors are after. Coins that have survived decades without being damaged or worn are much rarer and command a premium price on the market. If you've got one of these mint-condition pennies, you might be holding on to something much more valuable than you realize, but that's not the only thing that could increase the value of your 1971 penny. Minting errors. Every now and then, a coin doesn't come out quite the way it was intended. If you happen to have a 1971 penny with a minting error, such as a double die or a misaligned strike, that little mistake could make your penny worth a lot more than just 1-cent. Collectors go crazy for mint errors because they make a coin unique and highly collectible. So, if you find a 1971 penny with one of these rare minting mistakes, it could increase its value substantially. Now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1971 penny could actually be worth. Well, if you have one of those rare uncirculated pennies or a penny with a minting error, the value could be as high as $61,000, yes, you heard me right, $61,000 for a single 1971 penny. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that most people would dismiss without a second thought. So, before you toss that penny into your jar, take a moment to examine it closely. You could have a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. If you found this video helpful and exciting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss another coin discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.